Hello. So I want to talk to you a little bit what I'm trying to do in my classroom because I'm trying to set up a kind of online face-to-face hybrid class where bottom line it's as little work for me as possible because rather than trying to make a synchronous version of the class and an asynchronous version of the class, I'm doing a single version of the class that kind of covers all three of those. And the way that I'm intending to do that is to do a face-to-face class and simultaneously be live streaming this. So have a Zoom recording live stream happening at the same time as the face-to-face class is happening so that the class is being filmed and recorded so that kind of all of the boxes are ticked. Anybody that's there face-to-face in person obviously is having the face-to-face in-person class. Anybody that can watch at the same time but remotely is watching online. And anybody that can't do either one of those and has to watch the video later, the video is archived there for them and they can just watch it. And so no matter what the person's situation is, they're able to see the video and get the content of the class. If they're able to interact with it at the same time as the class is going on, they can ask questions, they can participate in the class, and otherwise they're watching it after. And my goal, like I said, was to have this so that no matter what happens during the semester, all of this is consistent. And so if, for example, I have to go into quarantine for some reason, maybe I've come in contact with somebody that's sick, I'm not sick myself, and I have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So the show will go on, basically. In that case, I'll just record from home. The stream will happen synchronously and then be recorded and put online. And same goes for the students. If I'm still doing face-to-face classes and they have to quarantine and they're home, any one of them is sick for whatever reason or can't make it to class, the show still goes on. So like I said, my big goal of this is that basically I get the setup started at the beginning of the semester, and after that nothing changes. I don't have to recalibrate or do anything. I don't have to make multiple kinds of lessons. I just do one lesson, and no matter what's going on, no matter where I am or where the students are, the setup is the same, the videos are there, and everything's consistent. So it's as little hassle for them and for me as possible. And so I've been thinking a lot about how am I going to do this, particularly like how am I going to film myself in the classroom, what's a good setup for that. And one of the concerns there is that since I teach at a university, I'm in a lot of classrooms, and so I can't have multiple setups going where, I'm sorry, I can't have like a big camera that I'm lugging around with me that I have to set up every single time. Every room is different, and so rather than having a bunch of equipment that I've got to handle, it's got to be quick, it's got to be fast. It won't be set up for me ahead of time. I don't want to lug around a bunch of crap, and I can't be sitting there for 15 minutes trying to get everything set up for an hour class. So what I can do is film off of my phone. And I think that's one of the best options for this because obviously a phone is pretty small, it's portable, and I'm already carrying it anyway, so I'm not adding additional crap. But in order to do that effectively, there's a couple of other things that I've needed to assemble, and that's part of what I wanted to show you in this video. So if I just film off of the phone, and doing that has some real advantages. So for example, if I film using any kind of camera, and then I've got a video file, I've got to upload it separately, and I've got to put it on Blackboard or Canvas or whatever software you're using. So it's better and easier if I can just use a device that's logged into Zoom already, so that basically I fire up the Zoom conference for the start of the class, the meeting is live, it's recording, and the phone itself is logged in as the camera, so that everything is just being recorded through the phone, and then it's automatically getting saved online. So that saves a bunch of effort rather than having to manually get a file off of one device onto another device and do that for every single class that I teach. That's horrible. So if I use a phone or a tablet, for example, something that can connect to Zoom and film at the same time, that's going to save a lot of effort. So if I use my phone for that, there's a lot of advantages for that. Most modern phones have pretty good cameras on them. A couple of issues. One, if I just sit the phone on a table, it's probably going to be looking up at me, which means it's going to be looking at my nose, and the angle is going to suck. So I don't want that. Another big problem is that if I have a phone like this just recording by itself, the audio in the classroom is going to suck. And so if I'm in some giant room and this thing is the only microphone that I've got, the audio is going to be horrible, and anybody watching at home is going to just be this horrible echoey mess. And so what I've done to solve that issue is I've purchased this, which is the Saramonic Blink 500 B5 microphone. And what this is it's a little receiver and microphone with a lavalier that connects to the phone. And one of the things that's really nice with that is that you don't need much stuff. The microphone has a transmitter that you clip to your body. It has the lavalier microphone, there we go, and it also has a receiver that clips to the phone. And so I'll show you the devices. They're quite small, which is a big advantage. So there's the receiver, and here's my phone, and the receiver just clicks into the bottom of the phone like that. And so there you go. As you can see, there's a little blue light on the bottom that's blinking. Other side, sorry. And right now it's blinking because the microphone that it picks up from isn't paired with it. But that's the receiver. That's it. It's powered by the phone. There's no battery to it. It just locks onto the bottom, and that's it. The actual microphone itself, this is the transmitter pack that broadcasts to the phone, and it has a little lavalier microphone like that. And so the lavalier will just clip to your collar, or if you're socially distancing in the era of COVID, your mask. It works very well. Just clip to the mask. Picks you up real good then. And then this guy has a little belt clip on the back, and that just, you know, you can clip it to the waist of your pants. You can clip it to anywhere on your body, basically. And that's it. That's all of the equipment. So the phone is the camera. This stuff is the microphone and the little bit that's on the end of the phone. And so, like I said, the big goal here was to not have a bunch of clunky stuff that I've got to unpack. And so this is pretty good. You know, this is very lightweight stuff. This guy recharges via USB cable, so you don't have to buy batteries for it. You do have to make sure that it's charged. It's supposed to get about 5 to 6 hours on a charge, but obviously if it's dead, you're in trouble. But otherwise, that's it. The other stuff doesn't need any kind of power packs or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to use for my in-class setup. The big advantage here is that with using this microphone, I can move around in the classroom and the audio is still good no matter where I am. So you don't get the echo, you don't get me fading out. And so again, I can move around freely in the classroom, I can go up to the board, I can be at the podium, it doesn't matter. The people at home are still hearing me clearly. One nice thing with Zoom is that you can be logged into it multiple times. And so what that lets you do is you can have your phone recording the meeting, but then you can also have, like if you have a podium computer, you can have that one logged into the Zoom meeting as you as well, and you can share your screen there. And so what that means is that if you're standing at the podium and your phone is over on a desk recording, you can be far away from it because of the microphone. But the people at home, they're hearing the microphone of your voice and they're seeing the screen share of whatever you're showing on your screen using Zoom on the podium computer. And so that means if you're showing something on the screen, they're hearing you clearly and they're seeing clearly what's on the screen. It works really nicely. I'll make a video later that demonstrates that, but I'm just kind of wanting to explain my reasoning of why I'm getting this particular equipment. So like I said, the overall, I think, benefit of all of this is that you have a lot of flexibility. You don't have some kind of headset on your head. You don't have a bunch of crap that you're dealing with. You can move around a class pretty freely. You have very little equipment here to deal with. All you've done is you've set up a phone at the beginning of the class, very simple, and you're good to go. So you have quick setup. The people at home can hear you and see you, and you know, it didn't take you 20 minutes to set it up, and it doesn't take you a long time to break it down. All you have to do is turn off the microphone, take the lavalier clip off, and take this guy off the bottom of the phone. But I got one other piece of equipment that I want to show you because it handles the problem of their phone being angled so that it's looking up your nose. And that is a tripod selfie stick. And one of the reasons that I got this particular one is that you can end up where you have something that kind of does part of the things I wanted, but not all of the things I wanted. So what I wanted was to be able to have the phone up high enough that it can look at me clearly, and get a good shot rather than being way down low on a desk on like a little stand or something like that. And I wanted it to be sturdy. And so I was having trouble because I was, for example, finding tripods that didn't have an adjustable arm on them. And so the tripod is sturdy, but the phone is way down low still. Or you got the opposite problem where you've got something like a selfie stick where it's on an adjustable arm, but it can't stand up. And so you got to brace it on something, and that's a giant pain. And so what I got instead, I don't know how you pronounce this, MPOW, M-P-O-W. I got a selfie stick tripod. And so this kind of combines the best of both worlds, where you have this selfie stick that has a phone mount on it, and it also has little tripod legs, and it extends. And so this kind of gives you the best of everything, where you've got a little thing. That was another big concern that I had with this, was that I didn't want to have like a full-size tripod that I'm carrying around, a 17.5-inch tripod that's sticking out of my bag. I wanted something small. This guy is small. It's basically a lightsaber hilt. If I was better with videos, I'd do a little lightsaber on it, but as you can tell, I'm not. That's one of the reasons I'm making this too, is that I don't have a lot of video making experience, and so if you don't have much experience either, my hope is that this is stuff that you would be able to use. The microphone, like I said, it's super quick, it's easy to set up, you don't have a lot of extra crap. If you don't have a lot of technical know-how, that's fine. I have a lot of technical know-how, but I haven't done much with video, and so getting the hang of video is something that I've had to do very quickly. So in case, this guy, like I said, it's kind of a best of both worlds in my mind, in that you have something that can work as a stand, it's sturdy, and it's small, it's compact, and it's quick to set up. So I've got this guy like here. When it comes in the box, it's kind of wrapped up like this, and it has 3 kind of folded legs on it, like so. They go out like this. There we go. And it has a little thing on the back that locks them in place. Just turns like that, and then they won't fold up. And so at that point, the tripod can stand very nicely. It has a phone clip on it that rotates, so you can have the phone be vertical or horizontal. It has a little light on there too, which is nice. Let's see if I can turn that on. I just got this thing. No, I can't get the light on, but whatever. The light isn't really the reason I bought it. So there's the legs. It stands on the desk, and then it has its telescoping arm. It has a little thing on here that you tighten to lock it in so that it won't fall over. And from there, I've got my phone set up like this. You clip the phone in, lock it in, and you're set to go. And so, like I said, this is a big reason that I got this, is that it's simple. There's not a lot of setup. You don't need a lot of technical know-how to put this stuff together. You just clip them together and off you go. And at the same time, breakdown is very simple. So your class is over, you need to go to your next class, and okay, so you take your mic off, you take your phone out, close her up, undo the tripod legs, and there we go. There we go, and fold this back, and you're done. And so your setup is, at this point, is completely dismantled. So I'll start wrapping up, but suffice to say, I'm very pleased with this as a setup for a classroom, and I'll do a classroom video that shows it working so that you can see how it goes, particularly so you can compare the difference between using the phone's microphone and the Saramonic, which helps a lot. But like I said, I hope this can help you in as far as doing your own teaching this semester, because the microphone, unfortunately, is fairly expensive. It's about $219. But there are other types of microphones. But the stand is cheap. The tripod was like 18 bucks on Amazon. I'll have the link posted in the video. So this guy is no major expense. The little blue light that it's showing here, it actually has a little remote in it. Get that out. There we go. It has a little remote that you can connect to the camera, to the phone, to take pictures. It doesn't do anything in zoom, so it's not really that useful for what I'm using it for as far as education goes. But if you push the button, it'll take a picture. If you have the camera open on your phone, it'll take a picture when you push the blue button, so that's nice. And the stick has a little slot where the remote goes in. So that's that. Another nice thing with this too is that you can just use it as a selfie stick. So you can just extend the arm and not do the tripod. So if you do want to capture yourself for Instagram glory, there we go. It works as just a fully functional selfie stick, and it's got a sturdy arm on it. It turns a little bit. You can kind of turn it a little, but not too much. So you'll want to make sure that you have it set up in the right spot when you put it in the classroom. But like I said, the goal of this was that you can just sit on a desk, extend the tripod, get it going, and off you go. It's not big enough, obviously, to be on the floor unless like you're on the floor too. But if it's sitting on a desk, sitting on a table, anything like that, you can just point the phone at you, and off you go. So in any case, I'll wrap up, but like I said, my hope is that if you're scrambling and trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do as far as teaching face-to-face classes or teaching online classes or anything like that, hopefully this has helped you, and I'm going to try and make a couple of more videos that show what I'm doing as far as my setup at home and my teaching setup in the classroom. So thanks a lot.